you know. Okay, Andy, check it now. You should see it. You should see it now. I forgot to click something. So anyway, that's why we try to do two at once. And I don't know, I'll do this for a while, and if it doesn't work out, you know, if people are not interested, or if we just don't get, if it just doesn't work right, then we'll stop doing it and do something else. You know, yeah, because it doesn't make any sense to keep doing it if we don't have, if the audience doesn't grow, or if it's not useful to people. But so far, it seems like it's pretty useful to me, and that's what it's all about. See, right now, Andy, I'll give you an example. Oh, thanks, Mark. Give you an example. Like, there's only 3 people on Facebook, but once YouTube goes, everything's on YouTube, because our audience is bigger on YouTube. I think my theory is, I think our audience on YouTube, you can't see it, but I mean, we only have 8,000 subscribers on YouTube, but we have way more than that who are interested in this process. And you'll see that in a second, how many people on YouTube versus how many people we get on Facebook. It's just how it is. So YouTube just came up. Thanks for that, Mark. And I'm configuring YouTube right now. Oh, that's you, Andy. All right. That's a little lag, huh? Okay. There we go. Hey, Kumar, how you doing? Good morning. Good. Well, it's good evening for me. It's 8 p.m. here, Mountain Standard Time. All right, so I'm not seeing my I see what I did. Ah, that's what I did wrong. I'm not seeing Facebook. All right, Vam, JJ, how you doing, sir? Kevin, Kumar, Andy, Arthur, how you doing? I'm still configuring this, guys. It usually takes a while for people to show up here anyway. But we're just going to talk about, we're going to answer questions, collaborate together to find answers together on the K1 visa and green card process. And I'll show you guys what we're going through right now as far as the 10-year conditional green card is where we're at right now, because we've got all that documentation going. So just bear with me as I fix this stuff. Sorry I'm having to do this live, but we need time for everybody to catch up with us anyway, right? There we go. That's looking a lot better. That's looking a lot better. You guys hear me okay? Mark said he could hear me, but can you guys hear my AC in the background? Hey Danica, how you doing? Raquel, how you doing? Yeah, that's much better. Okay, I think we're... Reg Goodman, how you doing, sir? Arthur, okay. Thanks, man. Okay, good. Always kind of concerned about that. VA730. Alright, still setting stuff up, guys, so just bear with me a little bit. But we're getting more people. Looks like we got quite a few people on YouTube, see? Audiences on YouTube. Not so much on Facebook. The group, I think it's because the group is kind of self-sustaining. People help each other out on the group, which is great. Okay, it's Bruce. It's getting a little late. It is too late to get your field at 30. Is it too late to get in your field at 30? Oh, my field of work. All right, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. Man, I could talk all day about that. No, it's not. Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, for what I do, you really have to have a higher level of maturity. So a lot of older guys, are doing what I doing. Like the average age, there's some younger guys in there, but the average age of what I do is like 40. It's the average age. Think about that. So we don't have a lot of young guys for what I do, because they want to do all the flashy hacker shit, which I don't think pays as good, by the way. Anyway, let's see here. All right, so I think this is pretty set up now, guys, so we can get started. What I'll do is and Yuri should be here in a little bit, but I'll just go ahead and get started and start answering any kind of questions we can. We'll answer them together. If we can't, if I can't answer it, if you guys can answer it, we'll just find out. Try to find out on the spot. Can I join this group? Just curious to see this process from the experienced couples. Yeah, absolutely. You absolutely can join the group. There's no policy against people just joining, even if they don't have a fiance visa process. I mean, maybe in the future you'll want to do it. You know. I see. Nice. Any special qualities aside from maturity needed? There's a lot, and I'll do some videos. If you go on my channel, Bruce Brown, I think it's called it Residual Income. I'm probably gonna change the name, but I'll talk a little bit about some of the prerequisites there. Richard Hardison says, can I ask you actually do without being too noisy? Can I ask you what you actually do without being too noisy? So I do system security engineering for the government. Raquel's from the Philippines, and I want to know about visa. What do you want to know? What do you want to know, Raquel? Mostly what I know about is what me and Yuri went through. My wife is from Cebu City, and she got a K1 visa. And so we know a lot of information, first-hand information about getting a K1 fiance visa into the United States. We know a little bit about K2 and K3, but we even personally do it. So I only know what people have told me and what I've read. We have personal experience about how to get EAD card, which is a work combo card that you use when you're in the U.S. to get a job here on a visa. And then we also know about green card, which we're going through right now, actually. So I can tell you about that. But other than that, if you want to join our group and ask questions to the group, I mean, the group knowledge is really strong, and it's a lot of Tagalog spoke. But if you only speak English, for those of you who only speak English or can speak English, you can go there, ask a question, and people will answer it in English. So, or you can even message me directly, and I'll answer it as best I can when I can. It's better to really ask the group because I'm not always available. I have a full-time job. All right, so let's see what other questions we have. I think there's some other questions popping up on YouTube. So yeah, Raquel, just ask any questions you like, and I'll see if I can answer it. You know, I can't guarantee you anything. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an immigration consultant. I'm just somebody who's been through this whole process and knows firsthand. And my wife is from the Philippines, and she's going through the whole process. So that's how I know anything. Great info. Thanks, Alfred. Appreciate it. So if there's no questions, I'll just jump right on to the group and ask questions that are on the group. Okay, Andy's got something. I subbed a while ago. I will review the videos for more information. Okay, yeah. It's a shame you've been married for 2. It's a shame you've been married for 2 years. Oh, you mean because I'm still going through the process? Yeah, man. I wish the process was a little bit smoother. I wish it was a little bit cheaper. I wish it was faster. I wish there was more paths to citizenship in this country. I've got a lot of gripes about the system, but at least they have something. You know, some of it's good, some parts of it is actually good. It's good that they have some way to get here, but I just wish there were more methods to get to the United States. You know, because there's a lot of opportunities here. It's just a shame that they make so many hurdles to get to become a citizen. Really, it's kind of ridiculous to me, but whatever. Arthur says, after my fiance turns in her DS-160, what is the wait time till the medical exam? Okay, so from my understanding, Arthur, first of all, the DS-160 is an online application that goes directly to the embassy. It goes into their database once she hits save. What she wants to do, is make sure she saves. She prints out the confirmation page. The confirmation page is like looks almost like a receipt. It's like an online receipt kind of, but it'll have her passport photo there that they ask you to upload. As far as how much time it takes till she gets her medical exam, okay, so I'll confirm this with Yuri when she gets here, but I believe that you don't have to make an appointment to get the medical exam. I think you could just go to the facility, but you have to have. Damn it! I'll ask Yuri. I don't want to steer you wrong, but I believe she had to pay for the medical exam. We had to pay for it. It was at the time that we went, which was 2014. It was $250, which she had to pay in cash when she got there. That's right. But she didn't have to have an appointment. She just had to fly to Manila because she was in Cebu. She had to fly to Manila and then pay cash to go in and do it. But we'll confirm that with her when she gets here. All right. So Reg Goodman says, what is the biggest mistake people make? Do you mean for the K-1 visa process? I can definitely answer you that one. For the K-1 visa process, the biggest mistake that people tend to make is seems to be not being thorough enough on the documentation, missing certain documents with the evidence. So you have to have evidence that you have a relationship, and so they'll miss one thing on it. I know for a while a lot of guys would not put all their divorce, if they were divorced 2 or 3 times, they wouldn't add their first divorce, because it was 25 years ago, so they think, oh, it's no big deal, I won't put that one on there because it doesn't matter anymore. But to the government, it does matter. So that's the biggest thing, is that people just miss documents. Usually that's what it is. And usually what happens is they'll give you a request for more information, which is RFE, request for evidence. And that extends your process by about a month usually. So I'd say that's the biggest thing. I wish that NOA 2 was faster.
Hi!
Yuri, we've got a question for you.
Yes.
Okay, Claude, before I get to your question, somebody else, Arthur had a question. He said, after his fiance turns in the DS-160, which I explained to him is an online application, but okay, so she's still on the phone. Sorry, guys.
And then after my fiance turns in her DS-160, what is the wait time till the medical exam? So the DS-160, it depends on when you schedule your...
So you do have to schedule it. The medical?
DS-160 is just a side form that you submit to them before you go to the interview. Then you print out the DS-160
confirmation page. But you don't have to have the DS-160 to go to the medical, right? There are two separate things.
Yeah.
Correct? But do you have to, my question is, or his question is, do you have to, is it a walk-in? Don't you just go in with cash and then pay them, right? Is there anything you have to do? Oh, you have to have an appointment for your U.S. That's right. Okay, that's right.
You have to have an appointment. For the medical, it's up to you. It's up to the applicant of when to go to the medical exam, because it's a first come first serve.
But it's based on, you can't go to the medical until you have an appointment with the U.S. Embassy. Correct?
Yeah.
So there you go. So in Arthur, I'm assuming you're talking about the Philippines, like Manila, right? We're talking about Philippines. Because it's different.
Well, actually, some people went.
I think it's different at other places. So the answer to your question is, DS-160 is a separate form, okay? You have to have the confirmation page in order to go into the embassy. Like, it's like a ticket to get into the embassy. So before you do the medical, you have to have an appointment. So the way you get an appointment is to sign up online. So there's a page online to sign up for the appointment to get the at the U.S. Embassy. Just make sure that your girl has all documentation she needs for the embassy, for the interview, because they require a lot of different evidence. And you can search online for what evidence you need, how to sign up for the appointment, and all that stuff on YouTube. So just look that up on YouTube. I hope that wasn't too confusing, Arthur. Contact me directly, man, if you have more questions about it, because that's actually pretty easy. And I'm sorry I convoluted it a bit. Okay, we got some other questions here.
Just a believer. What's your question? Hi, sis. I'm gonna respond to your email
Veronica.
tonight.
Okay. Alfred said, is the medical exam 1 day process?
Yes.
Yes. Unless you get denied, then it's like a more day process.
Or unless there's a sputum test.
Yes. That's another one. And what is the sputum test? So
sputum test is when they find something
in your lungs,
your
right?
X-ray. Yeah.
They do a lung X-ray to see if you have TB, tuberculosis, because it's contagious. So you have to be treated with that. If your girl has or guy has tuberculosis, it has to be treated first. It doesn't mean you're denied. It just means they have to clear your lungs out, which takes I don't know how many months for that to go through. So, but usually it's just 1 day if everything goes well. Fallen Angel says, hi, I have a question for income requirements for K1 visa. How many income tax documents do you need? Okay, so they ask for W-2, and then they ask for
Form 1040.
But you can also do transcripts. You can go to the IRS and get transcripts if you don't have 1040. And I've also heard of people doing, instead of the W-2, 1099 if you're a business owner. So those are the two things. The tax income documents are in conjunction with your I-134 affidavit of support when your significant other is going to the interview. So I hope that answers your question. Just a Believer says, question Yuri, really heartbroken on the story you told about your mom. Yeah,
we got something coming on Wednesday. Yeah, you have to watch it.
Yeah, the story of her mom is actually way more brutal than that. We might want to retell that one actually. But anyway, let's get back on the subject.
Yeah, we should. We should make a story about that. But anyway, don't miss our episode on relationship because it's on Wednesday because it's about more stuff about personal about me, of my life story.
Yeah, it's brutal.
It's very nice.
Back on topic. Let me see here. Any other questions? I don't see any other. Oh, Claude. Claude says, I wish the NOA 2 was faster. It's 350 now. 350
days?
350 days? A year?
No.
What do you? I don't understand, Claude. What do you mean by that? 350? Because that's really long for an NOA 2. I mean,
anyway,
I'd be contacting everybody if that happened.
Yeah, he continued and said, sorry to be off topic. With much respect, Yuri, what hospital was your mom at when she passed on? It was a hospital in the province, and I don't have the full details, but I know she passed away when I was in Thailand with my husband during our vacation.
Andy says, what is the best process to marry and get and get a green card in the shortest amount of time at once?
CR1.
Easy. That's an easy question.
CR1 visa.
CR1. Yep.
It's about 1 year process, but at the same time they give the 2 year green card.
Yep.
And
basically,
SSS.
it's
basically
when you go through the process, but your foreign fiance has to stay in their country until they do all the process for the green card. Then when they get to the U.S., they get issued the green card on the spot. I believe. I don't know where they get the green card, but they get it a lot faster than K1. K1, basically, they give you a visa, you come to the U.S., and then it takes another year or more. And sometimes a little less, depends on what state you're in. But I would say CR1 for green card is faster, but the problem is you have to have a long distance relationship for longer. Claude says no. He says he was talking about I was saying
price?
The medical.
$350? That's ridiculous.
Damn.
That's Philippines.
Damn. It's $250. Oh, you were referring to when I was talking about $250.
Yeah, it used to be $250, but I guess it's increasing every year.
God, that sucks.
That's Philippines.
Okay, let me see. Nancy. Oh, wait. Hazelyn says hi, Bruce and Yuri. Yuri and Sir Bruce. How you doing? We're doing great. Do you guys have a?
Hi, Hazelyn.
You guys YouTubers?
Sis.
I'll have to check out your YouTube page.
Are they?
They might be. Nancy Cash says,
guys, what should you do if a family member say Filipina girlfriend likes you because she needs to come to the USA? That's heartbreaking.
Wait, what? What should you do if your family member says Filipina girlfriend? Like, because she...
Like the Filipina is only hooking up to come to the U.S. for a green card.
Don't do it.
U.S. citizenship.
Yeah, don't do it.
That's depressing. So
don't do it.
Move on. Find someone else.
I mean, unless you have some sort of a agreement or deal with them, and that's your friend, you're trying to get them over. You know, I'm not gonna say you should. That's illegal, but I'm not trying to tell you to do anything illegal. But if you're looking for the love of your life, your next wife, then yeah, don't do it. Move on, man. Go, do something else. I mean, I know that's cold, but you got to look out for yourself, you know, a bit.
Hey, have question for AOS, Veronica. Hi, sis. How many tax return for Bruce did you submit for your AOS? Just 1 year.
Yeah.
The most recent year, which is 2016.
Yeah, you might be referring to they give you the option of doing 3 years, right? Because we were kind of confused about that. Remember, it said 3 years and it said like optional or something.
Yeah,
like that.
It's optional.
So
but
we only did one. We were kind of
panicking
panicking because we only had like 2 years. But then we kept reading it. It said it was optional. So we only did the 1 year, the most recent year.
Yeah. Anyway, and did you submit medical exams text the ones from the Philippines? Yes, I did. There was a copy that was given to me, so photocopy it and give them a give USCIS a photocopy of your medical.
Keep all your stuff because they're gonna ask for it again once you come to the U.S. and do your green card.
Just a Believer says sorry for your loss, Yuri. God bless both of you. Thank you. Yeah.
Wise Man for You says
that was a sad story, but
wait, let's do Facebook real quick. Claude says, good night. I have to get up at 4 a.m. I'm on the East Coast. Oh, man, it's late in the East Coast. Maybe we should do this at a different time. Good night, Claude. See you later.
Good night, Claude.
Thanks for the questions.
How much should you pay for you to come over, Bruce? Less than $4,000?
$4,000. It was about a little over $4,000. And that mostly, I think that it was so much more for me because Yuri had to fly back and forth between Cebu and Manila, and there was some complications. So part of the money was the $4,000 also includes the green card payment and the biometrics once you got here. So if you subtract the biometrics and the green card payment, adjustment of status, then it's more like $3,000. Less than $3,000 to get to the U.S. But then once you got here, you had to get the green card and that's $4,000. So now it's probably more now that it's gone up, especially if you don't live in
CR1 is better.
Yeah, it's cheaper to do a CR1. CR1 means you get married in the country of origin of their fiance, and then you take 8 months. She has to stay there. That means you have to still do long distance relationship. However, once she gets here, she already gets a green card like right when she gets off the plane. So let me see. Wise guy for you says, hello guys, how are you doing? We're doing good, not too bad. My fiance is coming to my country for like 2 months for the first time, and we are going to meet in person. That's awesome. It's an awesome feeling. Hope it works out for you guys. What do you think? Should we apply for the I-129F before she comes? No, you shouldn't. You should wait till after, because I-129F requires that you guys meet in person.
Yeah.
So what I advise you to do, if you guys are, let me see, if you're already engaged, are you guys already engaged? If you're not, then propose to her when she gets there.
Yeah.
Get engaged, and then take lots of pictures, because those pictures are going to serve as evidence. Keep your receipts of if you guys are in a hotel or resort or anything you guys do, keep all your receipts. Take lots of pictures. Note the time and dates of when you took the pictures, and then put that in your I-129F package, because that will serve as evidence that you guys have a real relationship and you guys are really engaged. Take pictures of the ring if you got her a ring, that kind of stuff. Invitations, and then once she's back in the U.S., then have her file for the petition. Or I'm assuming she's the U.S. petitioner, so then she would sign when she gets back to her home country, back to the U.S. Okay, we could not in additional.
We could note in additional
note
that she's coming. Yeah. Just file after you meet.
I would file after, yeah, because that's a big one. Okay. Alfred Connolly says, don't do it. I think he's talking about Nancy. The one that said that.
Yeah. Nancy Cash said, I mean, guys, when my brother saw me talking to my girlfriend, he said, be careful, because most Pinay use most. Now that's a stereotype.
Yeah, that's a. I would. So that's a common stereotype. Yes, there's some, absolutely. And when you go to the Philippines, if you've ever been there, you know why. I mean, it's rough there. It's a rough life. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them
you
for
can
doing
filter
it,
that. You can be frank and tell your Filipina girlfriend about it and say, hey, my brother said this, be careful, because you might be just using me to come to the United States, and it happens.
Well, look, Cash, like I would, if your girl, especially if you've been with her for a certain amount of time, you'll know there's signs, right? There's certain signs that you'll know if it's real or not. So
yeah, and you can be like straightforward and tell the person about that issue.
Just talk frankly with her,
Because who knows? What if that's her plan?
Well, I mean,
well, that should filter the bad, Filipinas,
I mean, it's a
and
bad.
if it's not real, I mean, if she's truthfully in love with you, then she's not gonna be offended about it.
And look, it's a stereotype for Filipinos, right? It's like there's stereotypes for black people. Like they say we like watermelon. I personally like watermelon. It's true. So I'm just saying sometimes it's real. So yeah, just talk to your girl, man. I mean, just be real, just be upfront with her. Don't try not to offend her, because that is kind of an offensive thing to say to people.
Well, you said it to me that your ex said, "Oh, be careful with Filipinas because they are."
She was a hater.
Yeah, so you told me, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm not like that. I'm an honorable person. I don't steal people's stuff just so I can have something for me." Okay,
so let's see. Hazelyn says, "Not really a YouTuber, but you can
visit my page.
Visit my page. Haha. I will be happy. I love watching your videos. Thanks a lot." and it
Helps
helps
me
me
a
a
lot. And
lot
now I'm
waiting for
waiting
the
to
AOS.
schedule my
Okay.
AOS.
Well, congratulations on getting to
Congrats,
the U.S.
sis.
and finding your man and everything. This is like a really long process, and you guys did it. You guys do it by yourself, or you use Rapid Visa, or what? Let's see what else we have.
Veronica said, "What if you don't have the most recent tax return? Use the 2015.
Use the whatever most recent one you have. So if
it's
the
not
most recent one,
2016,
you have the most recent one. Let's say your most recent one is 2015. Use that.
Yeah.
So you don't have 2016, use 2015. If you don't have 2015, use 2014. Most recent means whatever one you have that's most recent. Like if you had 2013, if you had 2012, 2013, 2014, use 2014.
Yeah,
so
that's the
most recent. That's what they mean by that.
Will I be able to attend the medical exam with my fiance? Yeah.
Can they go in that building? That's actually a good question. I never heard that one asked before.
They can, but because it's getting more crowded, they started like
cracking down on people.
Yeah. They started cracking down on people because the building is not big enough to handle like 1,000, hundreds of people coming in.
I see.
So if the relatives comes with them, the mother, the brother, it's like it adds onto the population and it's like getting more crowded. So
okay, let's see who else has questions here. Yeah, thank you for the help. Yeah, she's the U.S. petitioner. Okay, yeah. So yeah, tell her to do it after, and then start collecting the information. It's great that she's going there though, because now you guys have the opportunity to start working on the I-129F together. Like you can, if I was her, I would take the I-129F form and all your her tax documents and take them there with her, so you guys can start going through it together. And then that way, when she goes back to the U.S., she can fill out the rest of it and start putting in the package of all your pictures and everything, put it together, and then send it. Because it'll be much easier to do it together. Okay, and what do you think that we didn't have too many call logs? Oh, okay. Because we communicated by PlayStation chat.
What?
That's awesome. I never heard of that.
That's cool.
And we don't have a history log. Take screenshots of it. Can you take screenshots? Does PlayStation keep the logs? Because you could just keep the logs on if you have the logs, right? What I would do is I would take a screenshot. I don't know how you get them off of PlayStation. There's a way, I'm sure.
That's funny.
You can take a screenshot with PlayStation, I think, or you can just take your camera, take a picture of it, and then collect those as your logs.
Yep.
That's what I do.
I started taking a screenshot that we're spending time together in that platform.
Good.
Chuckle, watermelon. Is that real?
I'm just being real.
The black people like that.
That's what they say.
Haha, me too. I love watermelon and chicken. No,
chicken's good. Chicken's good.
That's what Joe Coy said. That
Joe Coy?
His mom.
Have you ever seen that one? Joe Coy.
You know Joe Coy?
It's on Netflix. It's like a Filipino comedian. Super funny. You gotta check it out.
My God.
Even if you're not Filipino, you gotta watch it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's funny. He has some black jokes that are actually pretty funny. They're not offensive. It's funny. Yeah. Okay.
Hey Bruce, I think it's Southerner. I'm from NC and love watermelon.
Yeah, Southerners have some good food.
That means it's real. Love you, Lone Wolf said, love you, Yuri. I used to live in Grand Junction, Colorado.
Yeah, I haven't visited that area yet.
We haven't been to Grand Junction yet.
Okay, let's see if any questions on Facebook.
Can you take me there, baby?
Yeah, we can.
What's in there?
What's in Grand Junction, Lone Wolf? I have no idea. Somebody says, it would be cool if you have to be straightforward. Really, what's your goal? Be upfront. That's sad. That's the sad part about it, though.
We should have an episode of 90 Day and then have a playback and then have a reaction to it.
I don't like watching that show, man.
I don't like it, but we can react to the relationships, like what's going on in the season.
Yeah, Rico's right. He's saying you should be straightforward about your goals and be upfront.
Cool if you're straightforward.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's so important. You know, I mean, it's really important. Just try to. I mean, there's a kind way you can put that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Make it conversational. You know,
Well,
it
there
doesn't
were
have to be. It
things.
doesn't have to be offensive.
There were
I
things
think.
that we discussed, me and my husband, before we got really serious, before we got serious, and before we decided to commit and take our relationship to the
Yeah.
next level, which is the more serious and then getting married. Before before we reached into that stage, we actually had confrontation of what absolutely we don't want in our partner,
Yeah.
such as our experiences. My parents had a really violent life, and they keep chasing each other with knife or all kinds of brutality, or
Yeah.
slapping, beating.
We both had that real bad domestic violence in
Yeah.
our past, you know, from our parents, and we both didn't. That was like, you know, that wasn't gonna happen with us, but that was a frank conversation that we had to have. That wasn't
Yeah.
nice. It wasn't fun to talk about, but once we got it out there, now we can just, you know, open up and talk about it.
Yeah, we had to talk about it because
So that's what you should do.
something that would, if that happened to me, if my guy slapped me, that's an
Yeah, that's an
it's
automatic.
over.
It's automatically
Like,
over.
even if the person just dragged me, like, that brings me back to the trauma.
You know, I mean, it's telling, guys, what we went through, because I mean, I'm sure there's some people out there the guys like, what are you guys drag you, slap you? It's stuff that we saw, you know. In
Yeah,
our lives.
my mom. That
Anyway,
happened to
let's
my mom.
let's stick to the subject.
Anyway, that's just one example, that you have to be open and tell your partner.
Yes. Absolutely. Andy says, "Oh
If
my
that's
God, you
your
guys
fear.
should discuss 90 Day Fiancé from this season. Everything good and bad involved with this process is viewed on the show. Bad and good intentions." But my thing, Andy, about that show is that they kind of dramatize things too much, and I'm always concerned with the relationship of the actual fiancés.
Well, we can have like a reaction video to it.
Yeah,
like on each
that's an
like
idea.
couple, and then there's like 4 or 5 couples in one show.
Okay, so Antoine says, "Hi, Bruce and Yuri. I would like to know if education and work history transfer over to the USA. Some do. Say, for instance, she's a nurse or a doctor, or will she need to reschool here in the States? For nursing, I can tell you that they have a certification. I think certain states require that you certify in that state. I know it depends on the career, right? So I know, like, doctors,
You have to be.
it depends on what country you're coming from.
Yeah.
You know, some things transfer here quite nicely, and then other things don't. And then some things, like here, you know how our laws here, I mean, well, I'll put it to you like this. Some states require a certain certification in that state. I know that if you're an IT professional and you have what's called CISSP or an A+ certification or something like that,
again.
it's an international certification, so that's honored everywhere. But I know that in the nursing industry, certain states require, California, I think, has its own state nursing license.
Yeah.
So you'd have to retake
States
that.
here, I heard about it. My friend told me that if you transfer from California to Texas, you need another license.
Right.
You have to pass that state.
And doctors, I'm not sure about that one.
Doctors,
but I've heard of doctors coming here and having to. It's ridiculous. I don't agree with it. Anyway, let's see.
Trey Jones, hello guys. My girlfriend and I live in the Philippines. We plan to apply for fiancé visa. We plan to move to the U.S. next year. Is it a problem that I don't own a house yet and not established in the U.S.?
Well, yes, but there's a way you can get around it. So the issue is that when you're doing the I-129F, which is the form you use to do the K-1 visa, fiancé visa, they ask you, where's your home in the U.S.? Where do you abide? There's a word for it. There's you have to have an
address, maybe your parents' address
of residence in the U.S. But yeah, so what you could do is you could use your parents or somebody your relatives who live here. You could use their address temporarily, until you guys get an apartment or a house or whatever. So there's a way. That's the way around it. But we've heard of people doing that. Because
Mm-hmm.
people who live abroad, there was a guy who lived abroad in Spain. He met his girl over in Spain, but he had been living in Spain for like 5 years. But he planned on moving back to the U.S., but he didn't have a house or an address here. So what he did was he used his parents' address as the, damn it, I can't remember the name, what they call it, but he used that physical address when he's filling out the I-129F. And you'll know what I'm talking about when you fill out the form, because it'll say what place
Where
in
you
the US,
reside in the US.
where do you reside in the US, and you put your parents or your relatives' address, and you tell them, make sure you tell them and say, hey, here's the address. I'm going to use you guys' address. You're going to get this letter from this organization, USCIS.
You don't have to own a house to petition a fiancé.
No, you
You
do
just
have to
have to prove
a physical
that
address,
you can provide for your
which
partner.
means an income.
Poverty guidelines.
Right.
About 16. I know it's been increasing yearly. About the last time you seen it was like $16,000 per year income. No.
I think it's less.
Is it?
Yeah. The poverty has dropped for some reason.
Jay Jones. Hello guys. My girl. Oh no.
That's the same.
Richard Hardison. Take a physical picture.
What does that mean?
Oh, from the other guy's PlayStation.
Oh,
Sugar
yeah.
bells.
Oh, okay.
Anyway. Veronica. My friend lives in Michigan. They are going through K1 visa. They have been waiting for NOA2 for it's been 3 months. What should they do?
Oh my God.
You can call the USCIS, but I know that recent
It's
cases,
been taking longer.
Yeah, it's been taking
Arthur
longer.
Carlson said that the average time has gone up. He got this information off of Visa Journey. They do an average of timelines throughout the entire process, and he's saying it's taken up to 106 days. So that's crazy, but it's the world we live in. So now it's common. When I was doing it, it only took like 30 to 45 days. Okay, so let's see. What other questions do we have?
In party chat, I don't have duration of chat, and every screenshot would look the same.
Party chat, yeah, but in party chat, I do not have a duration of chat. Every screenshot will look the same. Well, I mean, what you could do, you guys haven't filed yet, so what you could do is just switch to Viber or something. You can switch to Facebook or Viber or something just for the purpose of gathering that stuff. You guys email, you can use email too. I mean, switch it up, use email, you can even use phone records. You got to get the phone logs. Just use something else. Like I would use PlayStation, whatever you have, and then in conjunction with that, I would switch over to like, Facebook or whatever. Facebook is one. Viber is another one. Uvu is another one. What else? Use one of those.
Snapchat.
Yeah, whatever you got. Whatever else you young people use.
Richard Hardison. Oh, Arthur said Joko is the comedian you're talking about. He's got a YouTube reel.
Yeah, he does. It's hilarious.
Awesome. I'm gonna check that out. Richard Hardison. Do you all plan on staying in Colorado or moving in the future? I like Colorado when it's not snowing.
We'll probably have a home here. We'll probably keep a house here. Our plan is to keep a house here and then have a place in the Philippines and possibly California. That's big dreams for us, but you gotta have big goals, right? Lone Wolf says the National Monument is in the Grand Junction. Okay.
National Monument.
I don't know. But we'll check it out. Veronica Dips.
They have child together. His fiancée is from Algeria. She is a U.S. citizen. She gave birth this month. Should they call USCIS people? Because it's been 3 months. Yeah. Call them.
3 months for the NOA2?
Yeah.
Well, it is taking 106 days. So how many months is that? That's 2 months.
That's 3 months.
There's 3 months, yeah. So yeah, you can, Veronica, what I would do is tell her that it is taking a little longer. The average now is 106 days, so that's a little over 3 months, right? So
3.5 months.
But in the meantime, they can start gathering the contact information of USCIS. Go to uscis.gov, and there's a contact us page somewhere on there, and they'll have a phone number and it'll have email, and it'll specifically say for what type of issue that you're having.
Okay, so Andy said,
I read
I
somewhere.
agree. They show different perspectives, though. Too much drama, but it's interesting to see how different cultures collide.
Yeah, but they like dramatize it too much. Like, I mean, we have clashes too, but I mean, that dramatic is really rare, you know. But they condense all this drama in like
In one
15-minute episode.
You guys are lifesavers. I read somewhere that some of the requirements are that you make at least 25 grand a year. That's not true.
Well, no, it depends on how many people you have in your household. So,
well, if you got kids.
Yeah, so the way it worked, the poverty guideline works is that they calculate your household size. And so based on your household size is what determines what poverty level you're supposed to be at, and it also depends on your state. Because Hawaii and Alaska have a higher poverty line than the other states. Because it's more expensive to live in those two places. And then it also depends on how many kids. Like if you have 4 kids in the house, you have to make more than somebody who's just by themselves.
Ladeline says, same here. Thought it's 5 months. Now still no NOA 2. Still waiting. You have to call your CIS.
My God, 5 months. That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. That's not real anymore. I mean, it's real, but it's not
Yeah.
Something's going on. Like you have to call them.
Call them, email them. Just don't stop bothering them. That's what I would do. I'd be up their ass. Andy says, excuse my language.
FB chats are more reliable, easy to find and print. Yes, I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
FB's
good. They collect all those records.
Wise Man said, you're so helpful, guys. Thank you so much for being so supportive. You're welcome.
No problem.
We wish you the best in your relationship.
Yep. And Facebook has some great log. It collects the logs. So
Andy now has a backup thing by Richard Hardison. You should do live shows with 90 Day Fiancé. Come on.
That's a good idea. No, that's
we
a good idea.
We should do that. And then do a live and watch it and then like, wait.
Live during 90 Day Fiancé.
That would be so cool, right?
90
and we're all watching it
Day
as it's
Fiancé.
As it's on air.
That's actually a good idea. Because that's a live reaction. That's a real reaction. And then, yeah, that's a good idea.
But we have to do that downstairs, though.
No, we could do it here. I could like show part of it here. I don't know if we get hit up with a copyright infringement, but they'll just take our ads revenue.
Well, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's just
that's fine.
Thing.
Veronica Dips says,
for the person who asked if his fiancé can go with him to his medical test, no, I don't think so, because they only want people who are going for the interview.
Well, it depends on the country.
Crowded. It's usually crowded. She's right.
Veronica is from I don't remember where you're from. It's in Africa.
Yeah.
So it might be different from the Philippines. Right?
Philippines is the most crowded embassy in the world.
You think they would allow people to go in there?
Well, they were not allowing, as I said, many people were bringing their mom, their sisters, and they were not allowing them inside because it's getting crowded. There were like hundreds of people coming in.
Oh, that's bad. Okay, new one. Hope I'm pronouncing that right.
New
Says
one.
Reside, domicile, abode. I think it's domicile. Where are you domiciled?
Domicile.
I think that's it. Yeah. So what he's talking about is when you fill out the I-129F, they'll ask you where you're domiciled. That means where is your physical address in the U.S. Richard says domicile. Yeah, confirmed. Alfred Connolly says, okay, Veronica. Oh, so you guys are already answering the questions. You guys are way ahead of us.
Yes, it is.
Okay, we got to get through these. We're way behind, guys. Yes,
we did an application.
Ourselves, we didn't pay rapid or anything. I did some research and joined and asked some people.
VisaApproved.
Wow, that's great.
Great.
Rest, I watch all of your videos. If there's something I need,
like clarification and guidance.
That's awesome. Wow, great. And
I'm really happy because you guys is really big help
awesome.
to a lot of people.
That's great.
Thank you, sis.
And Jack Fromm says, "Hi, Yuri and Bruce. Thanks for all the advice these past months. It helped me out with a few areas on the CR1." Really? We don't really talk about CR1 that much, but I'm glad it helped. I hope the group helped too, Jack. Veronica Dip says, that topic of Madeline. Oh no,
And
we're
Red
not
was
talking
very
about
so
that.
spot on. The same thing happens in my country.
Oh no.
That was embarrassing.
That's not for
My
this
God.
Sorry for asking too much questions. It's alright. That's what this is all about.
But this is really a rare opportunity to catch you up time zone, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
My fiance has like 30K income per year. Can I be my own additional sponsor, and how much money would be enough for that?
It depends on how many. Does she have kids? So
if she doesn't have kids, you're good.
Oh yeah, that's way more than enough. But and even if she, I think even with 2 kids,
even
she'd
with
be
2
all right.
kids,
with
that's still a good income.
Yeah, so that's not bad at all. So when you get into like 4 and kids, more, that's different. Things change.
Yeah, if it's 2 kids, the 30 grand, that's still good income.
Yeah, so I can look for that document.
Send him the poverty guidelines.
Yeah, that's what I need to do.
Oh, you know what?
Somebody have that?
Baby, can I say something?
Go ahead.
I shared to Purple Shadow the video, right, for Wednesday, and I told her maybe can review and maybe there's a final touch-up we can do and stuff like that.
Okay.
And
she said don't release it.
And then no. She loves it. She didn't even want me to talk because I was interrupting her watching it, and so.
Wait, how did you release it to her?
I gave her the password anyway. Because I wanted her to see it.
You can do it without giving the password out, by the way.
Yeah, but she's.
I want to do an early release for Patreons anyway.
Anyway, so I started like.
Okay, guys, we're off
I'm
topic.
I'm just excited for our Wednesday relationship video.
Poverty.
This one is really nice. And so Purple Shadow was like
guidelines.
Baby, Purple Shadow was like, wow, this woman has a really good voice, and then realized it was me.
Wow.
I was like, you don't recognize your sister.
That is crazy.
That was hilarious.
We're talking about a new video that we're releasing on Wednesday.
You have to watch.
It was a lot of
Wednesday video.
It's a whole different. It's a whole different level, guys. It's a whole different. It's very personal. Okay, Alfred says, which company do you guys recommend for processing the K1? I don't recommend any companies. Is the process difficult to do on your own? No, it's not. Absolutely not. Especially with all the resources you have online. You have lots of YouTube videos, not just ours, and they'll show you different perspectives. You have several groups that are very helpful, including ours, which has over 25,000 people in it, by the way. You have Visa Journey, which is an awesome resource. It's a forum that you can ask questions. There's so many different resources. But if you have to do it, I've heard Rapid Visa will get you through the first part of the process. The problem that I have with some of these agencies, I don't know about Rapid Visa, but they only do part of the... They're going to charge you $400, and they only do half of the process, like 1/4 of it, and then you have to do the rest.
But for some people who doesn't want to have too much documentation,
it's good. Yeah.
If it's a headache for you to fill out documentations, then I would say hire.
Hire a lawyer.
Agency
if you have, and especially if you have the money, you just want to throw $3,000 at the problem and fix it. Hire a really good lawyer. Okay, thanks so much to both of you. My husband filed for the I-130 application. We search a lot, watch your videos, share. Also, we are just waiting for the NSO
marriage certificate.
Okay, yeah, we don't really do the K3 stuff too much, but if you get on our group, if you get on our group,
there's
then
actually
there's
people
lots of
joining
people
there that are
helping, and then there's lots of
CR1 and K3.
yes, there's lots of people that help on there. So please join our group. It's called Visa Approved. It's on. Just type in Visa Approved on Google, on Facebook, and you'll find our group and ask any questions.
Andy said they have some real interesting characters this season. Oh boy.
Oh man.
There are some nut jobs. What's a nut jobs?
Crazy people. Veronica says, do you think if his fiance goes for his interview and he says they have a child together, it will help him get approved? You know, it's you would think that that's like a slam dunk, like, you know, a hole in one. That's a goal, but you really have to have documentation. All right, that's what they look at. That's what they use to transfer from one person to the other. So just make sure there's documentation.
Evidence of the relationship.
A child is definitely a big one, but definitely have the documentation to back it up. Things like health insurance for the kid that's under the same insurance plan. Things like that, you know.
Yeah. Andy said, "God bless, guys. God bless to you too, Andy."
Yeah, see you, Andy.
Have to go
Say, be right back.
Yeah, we're not gonna be here that long.
Yeah, we don't have much time.
Cause I'm gonna be working tomorrow morning.
Okay.
But it's my last week of work.
Richard says
before my next work. Before I apply for CNA jobs.
Just let each viewer watch 90 Day Fiancé themselves and live chat about the show.
90 Day
we might do it. We just might do it.
Watch 90 Day
Fiancé actually.
Live chat about the show. That would be cool,
here
actually.
In VA. Wow.
90 Fiancé is actually now here in Virginia. When you become CF1 temporary status to permanent.
What does that mean? What is that? Is that temporary conditional green card? I don't know.
F1 is a family visa.
Is it? CF1?
I don't know.
Is that like CF1? Your mom or father?
I don't know what CF1.
Yeah, Jeet, we don't know what CF1 is. If anybody knows about what that is, then please let us know.
Then Richard said, just let us all view it, and you view it. No need to broadcast it. Then we can have a live chat.
Oh, a live chat while it's on. Okay. That's a great idea. Arthur says, after
we're going to go live and watch it on our TV.
We don't show it. He's saying we don't show it. We just all talk about it while it's on.
That is cool. I like that.
That's a good idea. But we're at different time zones, so I don't know when they play it, but we can just do it when it's live for us. Okay, after medical exam, what is the timeline to the interview?
It's up to you. It's up to the applicant when they want to do their interview. It can be 2 weeks, 3 weeks after the medical. It can be 1 week after the medical exam. It's up to the person who's about to go to the U.S. Embassy. If they schedule it early, like a week after the medical, it's possible. Or 2 weeks after the medical.
Yeah, Jack Froome confirms that. It says interview can be about 2 weeks after the medical.
Some people got it like a week after, but it takes so much preparation. I'd say 2 weeks is more ideal.
Yeah.
So you
what
can
do we
prepare.
Do for ours? I don't remember.
I was practicing.
What do we do for ours? Did you flew to Manila to do the medical? Then you had to fly back home. Then what?
And then I went back to Manila after 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay. That's what we did, Arthur. Let me see. Wiseman says, "Wow, you made my morning, guys. She doesn't have any kids. She lives in Florida with her parents and brother, where we should supposed to live. Okay. Yep. So she makes 30,000. Yeah, that's
good.
it. She's domiciled in Florida with their mom's address. You guys are set up, man. Just make sure you start gathering the evidence when she comes to visit. I think you're the one that said that she's visiting you. I don't remember. Let me see. Veronica Dibb says, Yuri,
you're right.
You're right, because it's usually crowded, and there's many people who are there for different medical tests. So I would advise you to try and see if fiance would be allowed. Yes, Kenya. Yeah. That's right. I'm sorry, I forgot. Kenya. Oh, I have some questions about Kenya, by the way. About you guys use phones for money? I heard that you guys have this thing where the money's on the phones. That's really cool.
Like Bitcoin?
It's not Bitcoin, but yeah, similar.
Thank you again for the web page with income list.
No problem.
What is
Alfred?
what
I sent
is...
him a link to the
Oh,
this. Okay, thanks
thank
guys.
you.
I have to go sleep now.
I live in Atlanta. It's almost 12 midnight. Oh my god.
Maybe we
Good
should do
night,
this.
Alfred.
We should probably do this
Yeah,
earlier.
I need to get off of this too. I hope that we can meet after my fiance gets here. That would be great.
You never know.
We drove through Atlanta last year.
Sure did. Yuri did it. She drove through there.
Hey Bruce, back on AOS. Do we submit all of them 2014, 2015 or only one? Up to you. You can submit both.
Just do the most recent one. What they require is the most recent one that you have. So 2015. If it was me, I would do both. 2014, 2015. But they only require one, the most recent. So
yeah, you can submit 2015 and 2014 or just 2015.
And then somebody says, same person
and
says,
Yuri,
how do you feel about submitting your documents
towards becoming a US citizen? You mean my 10-year green card? I'm sick of it. I just want to get it done.
No, she says U.S. citizen. So Yuri's submitting her 10-year green card.
Yeah.
It's. You want to show it again? Let's show it. Here, I'll get it.
Oh God, I'm so sick of that. I need to submit that anyway in 2 days.
So this is it right here.
I've been working on that for such a long time.
Look how thick it is. It's heavy. Right? So this is all the evidence that we have a real relationship. Pretty ridiculous, huh? Without showing too much information.
We can videotape that again and before I submit it.
So yeah, it's a lot.
Okay. Yeah, so after that, if I'm approved on that in like a month or two, then I can go ahead and apply for my US citizenship. And honestly, I just want to get it done and be able to fly wherever we go.
Yeah, for us, the U.S. citizenship is all about the passport.
Yeah.
So that we can.
So
we really love to travel.
We love traveling.
Thanks for the information.
Hi, Bruce and Yuri. How do Pinay women feel about prenups? It's like stabbing our heart.
Yeah, but you know what? It's what you need to do is confront.
Because we don't do prenups in the Philippines.
So what you need to do is make sure you tell her before you do it. So what some guys do is they get their fiance all the way here to the U.S. and then they say, I'm going to get a prenup.
Slap them with a prenup.
So that's kind of shady. Like you should tell them before they commit. Is what.
Yeah, you should tell them that here in the U.S. You know when because this is new to us that when here in the U.S. when couples get divorced, the woman gets 50% or more and the house.
Depending on how long they're married, the woman can get a lot.
Yeah, and the longer the marriage, like the more the guy pay. Like even though it's the guy that worked their ass off to acquire all those assets, then
the Filipinas don't know. They don't understand.
Women bake, even though they didn't work for it.
Yeah.
But in the Philippines, it's like
that's not the case. So that's why it's hard for them to understand what a prenup is and why you get it. So that's why it's important to just explain to them what's going on with it, and just make it clear that hey, this is not. I'm not saying I'm going to divorce you. I'm just saying that these assets here will have this legal.
You can explain.
Just explain it. Just explain what's going on.
You can explain that when people get divorced here, like the men are left with half or none of what has been acquired during the marriage. House goes to the woman if the marriage has been long, and it's not fair, especially if you have been working for a long time, and your partner.
Yeah, Yuri knows a lot about this because that's
like,
what I'm going through.
So it's like that's so unfair.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, there's some contribution with the women, but it's like you pay them, and it's like an alimony monthly for years. It's like it's ridiculous.
Okay, Vam JJ says
You just have to explain that.
How much is the 10-year
680. That
green card?
includes.
You mean green card?
680. That includes the biometrics fee.
Wait, 680? Do you have to do the biometrics again?
Yes.
Really? That's so dumb. Gosh, what is wrong with it? Anyway, Wise Man for You says, yeah, she's visiting me not that long because her boss
always gives her only 7 days. That's horrible. But we're gonna spend
US.
time with my family mostly. We're gonna make great setup for interview. Thank you guys.
That's awesome. Yeah, take lots of pictures. Have her take pictures with her family. Keep those pictures. Put those in there too for the evidence. Put pictures of you guys together with landmarks, and then keep all your pictures. Make them digital copies and put them on like Google Drive because you're gonna need them when you come to the U.S. They're gonna ask for everything over again. So keep everything digital.
Anyway, good night, Andy. Since we're not gonna have to cut this, I mean the thing. Richard Hardison said just a separation, but usually that is already been happening, so if waiting isn't an issue, is a CR1 easier?
I would say overall it's cheaper. I don't know how much easier it is, but it's cheaper and it's a shorter time period to get the green card.
Now, since K1 visa is taking longer, might as well do a CR1 and get your green card and have a cheaper expense.
Right. So you'd get married in advance. I mean, looking back, I probably still have done the K1 because me and Yuri really were suffering from being apart. So that was for us, the main factor was we didn't want to be apart anymore. Whoops. What just happened? Oh, crap.
Dead. It's dead.
Yeah, well, we still have sound, but...
guys...
Yeah, guys, we're gonna go ahead and cut this.
Our camera just cut us
because we just lost our visual. So we're gonna cut this. I think that's it. I think we've been talking for about 2 hours, right? No, hour and 11 minutes. So
in Bacolod. Anyway, let's answer the last two. Richard Hardison said a prenuptial can always be changed or torn up. Yeah, you're right. Just explain to her, because yeah, we've discussed it with other Filipinas that I talked to before, and it's so devastating. You just have to explain why you have to do a prenuptial here in the US. And then Veronica said, Yuri, how did you manage moving around running errands in the US when you couldn't drive? My husband accompanied me, and then as for clothing, I was just started ordering online. And Walmart.com and stuff like that. Michael Hubbard said, hello Bruce, I have a young lady in Bacolod. I'm African American. Do you think it's safe for me to visit there? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bacolod is good.
Yep.
Antoine said, thanks Yuri and Bruce answering my questions. I'm out for now, but please do more taste challenges. Oh God, those are hilarious. When I'm watching them, it's just, I was watching it repeatedly because it was so funny.
Magandang gabi. Good evening, right?
Yeah. Magandang gabi, folks. Good evening to you too, Arthur.
Good night, Bruce and Yuri.
Good night, Bruce and Yuri. It was fun tonight, and everyone. Good night, Richard, and thank you for your suggestion with the 90-day fiance.
Good night, Veronica. She says it's
I'll be waiting for your response and emails. I'm going to bed soon. It's 23:45 night.
Yeah, we probably should do this earlier.
Sis. Yeah, I'm gonna respond to your email right now. Okay, guys, thumbs up.
Devin says, Devin Coleman, hey, how you
Our
doing?
video passed on purple shadow. She said she couldn't think of any enhancement to make.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Hello, Paul. Good evening to both of you. Good evening to you.
Good evening. We gotta cut this video.
Love your videos. We've been on here for
Thank
like an
you.
hour and 14 minutes, so we're going to cut this.
Okay.
All right. Davin,
Thank you guys for
Andy,
your support.
all the YouTubers, we're going to cut this. Like and subscribe. Make sure you join us. Turn on post notifications. And we'll talk to you guys another time.